All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy JereckLG. This is episode 1 of Zed Daily, and we've got someone who brought me up into the Zed community, so I had to repay the favor. We got GoldenGlowMaster, aka All In Racing or All In Gaming. How you doing, sir?
All right, yourself?
I'm pretty good, bro. I'm pretty good. So to start it off, I just wanted to ask you, how did you get into Zed Run?
Well, it was a New York Times article when King Beaver Shot sold billions. That's what got me into Zed, and so that's where I would start. That's where would put Zed on my radar. I should say it was a New York Times article with King Beaver Shot selling billions, and then after that, Poseidon led me to Doofy. Doofy led me to the Pony Plug, and then Pony Plug led me to Sean Versal, and then Sean led me to MJ, and then that's when I started streaming.
Okay, so you kind of bounced around from after the New York Times article.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the intrigue from the New York Times article? Was it that you could race these horses and own them, or was it the price that billions was sold for?
The price that billions was sold for. There's no really getting around that.
Okay, so now when you got into Zed, did you view it as an investment or an entertainment vehicle?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, both. I was going through, what was it? Some type of depression, I want to say, I guess. Not depression, but discouragement, because I'm a game developer, and I was getting discouraged with my own game. I'm solo deving, and running into a lot of bugs, and as I'm running into these bugs, it's making me get discouraged because it took me a while to solve some of them. So I needed something to distract myself, and Zed Run became a distraction.
And would you say it's kind of fixed your problems or helped you with your depression a little bit?
Nah. Nah. Not really.
Not yet.
Gave me a new addiction. Might have wanted to choose alcohol or something. I don't know. But
I think maybe if you win a tournament or something or get a little bit of money, that might change it around a little bit.
Yeah.
So what was your first horse?
Whew. Hot Spur. One word. Terrible horse. Terrible horse. I thought it was because I got in, all you could buy horses on was Matic Open Sea, not Open Sea. And we were just trying, everybody who was getting in was just trying to buy a horse, period. And I ended up being one of the first people that found out you can buy on Open Sea. And so what I was doing was I sold my horse Hotspur for a profit because people were just trying to buy horses. And then I bought another horse. It was a Z68 Pacer named Purple Beater. I sold that horse for a profit. Then I went into Open Sea and started buying horses on Open Sea and then flipping them on Matic Open Sea for a higher profit. I was trying to flip my way up to a Genesis horse, but they opened up Open Sea and shut down the Matic. And so everybody moved over there.
So when you got into Zed Run, the only place to buy a horse at that time was within the Zed Run marketplace?
No, it was this place called Matic.OpenSea. It was like an extension of OpenSea. It was just something different. I don't know if you can find it. Let's see. Hold on. And then I'll send the link to you.
But this was its own marketplace to where, is there other stuff on
Only
it?
Zed horses there. That was
Zed.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't find it. They took it down.
So did you have a strategy when buying that first horse, or did you just say hey, I like the color of this horse, or I like the bloodline, or I like the genotype? What intrigued you about that first horse?
It was the only horse I could buy. That was it. You couldn't buy anything else. It was all on this little website called Matic, and it was like $150 or something like that, or $200. I sold it for $300. Got another one, and just kept going back and forth. I lost like $100 racing that horse, It was like a brother main event on the father's side. So I was like, it's got to be good. It's Z22 Elite. Like, I was just looking at the bloodline at that time.
Did you ever win a race with that horse?
What?
Your first horse, did you ever win?
Hotspur?
Yeah.
Hotspur still hasn't won a race.
Okay.
I don't think Purple Beater won a race. My third horse was a horse named Piston Broke, and I was happy because when I bought her, like the second race, she won. I raced another 100 times and didn't get another victory. So,
how did it feel winning that first race?
It was great. You know, it was exciting. Probably not as good as when you won with your first race with diamonds and stuff, but it was good. I started learning what I was doing after that, though.
Right. I mean, and it gives you the hope, right? It's like, okay, man, maybe I got something on my hands. Let me go test it out at this distance. Let me go test it out at this distance. So it's nice to win those first races.
Yes.
How do you explain Zed to your friends and family?
I try. I don't anymore because they don't listen. So I get them all. I get them the whole thing. I give them like a real beginner's guide. Nobody wants to listen. So. Like, okay, if I get rich, I'm not sharing a fucking thing because we could have came in with some serious money. I could have reinvested. I would have reinvested some more money, but shit, I can't even get my girlfriend to buy a horse.
Not yet.
She ain't going to.
Hey, Christmas is around the corner. You can give horses out as presents, you know.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Hey, you never know. You give him a good horse, it's a good horse, and she's like, all right, we can flip this or we can race it or what.
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
So nope. When you kind of have a funny story about trying to get your friends into Zed around the Terror Drop. Could you tell us about that?
Why does everybody like hearing about when I was about to get beat up? And well, all right. So what happened was I got a bunch of coworkers in really early. I bought my first horse maybe 2 weeks before the Terror Drop. Or a week before the Terror Drop, there was a mega drop, like I could have got in if I'd have got in a couple days earlier, I could have got in on the mega drop. I missed it, and so the Terror Drop. I bought a horse. I was showing my friends racing these horses. I was showing them buying and flipping and trading, and they were liking it, you know. And then, but they didn't know shit about Bitcoin or Ethereum and nothing like that. And I'm like, I got a hot dog cart. In the past, opened up a business off of what I earned in Bitcoin. And so I was already familiar with MetaMask. CryptoKitties that just came in when I got out because Bitcoin had that explosive rise from, I want to say about $975 to about $11,000. And then it dropped to $3,000 during that time frame. I got out at 7,000 and I had a whole Bitcoin. I wish I still would have kept that thing because I'd 60 grand or something like that. And so I got a hot dog cart. And everybody knew about that stuff. We all knew about Bitcoin. And so I broke down the horse racing thing. I showed them a couple of Poseidon videos and stuff. And so I got about 20 people to buy in. And we are all on my work's internet during the Terror Drop trying to buy a horse. None of us got one. Not one of us. We didn't know about Discord and stuff like that. I didn't even use it. I found out about Discord the day after the Terror Drop. Like I knew about Discord, but Discord to me is something for like gaming. Like if we're gonna play a game and it doesn't have voice chat in it. So that's what Discord means to me. Or it was a community like for Unreal developers. Like if I ever pulled up my Discord, you'd see it's all different Unreal game development communities. And now a bunch of these me constantly reporting spam now for people. But anyway, getting back into the story, I got them all into it. None of us got a horse. Everybody wanted to fuck me up. Everybody. And it was because nobody got a horse. And then we start seeing, like I pull up the activities to see one stable got 43 freaking horses. 43 horses. And they bought nothing but Buterins. And that's all we were going for was Buterins. Like I wanted a Finny. Couldn't get nothing. Cause most of us were either on the third or the fourth drop, the third or fourth wave. And so that's how, that coincidentally, that's also when I got banned from Zed General the next day. Because if you go up, anybody can Google it. The thing where it was the list for the stables that got all the excess horses, that was me who put that up. I put that whole list up and then ran. That's when I came in the Discord, was like, so what the fuck happened?
And did they ever explain what happened? Why were those people able
Link
to
sharing.
get so many?
Link sharing and getting in on multiple waves.
Nobody shared a link with you?
I don't even mess with my peoples at work. I wasn't on Discord or nothing like that. I was in Poseidon's Facebook group, and Poseidon himself came out and was like, if anybody link shares, I'm kicking them.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
And I don't even think that's right. Like, all those people who did that shit, like, we talk about all the good that the Zed community is, but there's a lot of fucking scumbags in there, too.
Right.
Not gonna, like, that's a scummy move. I'd have had 20 more stables, possibly, in the Zed community if more people at my job would have got fucking horses. Then who knows how many people they would have got horse to get in and whatnot, you know? So...
yeah, it seems like Zed didn't really think that out. I mean, like, even though you say, hey, don't share this link, you got to know people are going to share it, right?
Yeah.
Were you ever able to get any of those people that wanted to beat you back into Zed?
Nah.
None of them?
I literally, the way I got out the ass whooping was I paid everybody gas fees to get their, convert their WETH back to ETH, and then, to send it back to like Binance or Coinbase or whatnot.
So how much did that cost you?
$600 or $700 all together for everybody.
And that's a couple Genesis horses back at that time, right?
Buterins, and maybe I think you could get a Z8 at that time for like $600 or $700.
Okay. So no luck on bringing any of those guys back into Zed at the moment.
Nah.
Nothing yet. All right, well, maybe in the future, we'll just give it some time and they'll come back. I wanted to ask you, what did you think about the inaugural Zed Run tournament?
I thought it was great. It was like an injection of fresh energy. Something positive to look forward to. I was rooting for Poseidon anyway. If you remember, I was like, well, I think Insane Him's gonna win it. I don't even think he got out the first round or whatever. And then at the end, when that horse figured it out, got fire in 3 races, I was like, he's gonna win. And I couldn't believe, like, because I was moving yesterday, moving more stuff back, and I was trying to watch Zombie's stream, but I was buffering the whole time on my phone for some freaking reason, and I don't know if they said, oh, this horse got three fires from 1,600, 2,000, and 2,200. Like, yeah, that's a win. And in those races, it finished first, second, and third, and those 3 podiums got him to win.
Yeah, it was exciting to watch. It was definitely cool to watch. What do you think they could fix from what could they learn from this first tournament moving on to the second one in 2 weeks? Because personally, I think the best horses should not be going against each other in the quarterfinals. Like, you don't want to see Princess of Power and Grandeur and Breathless Edge. Like, you're never going to see those in like a March Madness type bracket. You're not going to see Duke play North Carolina round 1. You're going to want to see that in the finals so you can get all the sponsorship ad revenue around that. That's just my thoughts on that. But what would you like to see fixed for this second tournament?
Well, exactly what you just said. You got to realize they're not American. We grew up every year, March Madness. I think that's the biggest sporting event in the entire forest. You know, whether you like hockey with the Frozen Four or baseball, it's all ran the same way. And we've been doing that as long as I can remember, because I remember when I was a kid, it was 32 teams, and then it moved to 64. I think they're talking about extending it to 108 or something like that. I can't remember. And so, you know, we're used to doing stuff like that. That they just wanted to get the tournament out the window. I don't think they thought. I think they just put it all in an RNG and seeded it that way, because it did go through a distance funnel or whatnot.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch. It was especially interesting the place rate for the middle run horses compared to the sprinters and the distance horses. It was so much lower.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Agreed.
what? So I've heard that is just because there's no distance preference at 1,600 meters, and you're just going off a horse's raw base ability. So it's just
Yes.
gonna be by inches. Someone will scratch someone out of first, second, or third.
Yes. And that didn't belong with like 1,800 and 2,000 and 2,200 are closer together. Just like 24 and 2,200. Like most of the time, if you have a 2,000, a horse whose distance preference is 2,000, its other distance preference is going to be either 2,200 and 1,800. It's not going to be, you know what I mean? It's weird the way it was designed. It's almost designed like by somebody who doesn't play the game or doesn't race horses. And if you don't race horses and you don't play the game, it's very, very, very difficult for um, it's very difficult for you to actually design a game. And as MJ just saying, they didn't want it to keep it class based and to get a base for the ELO. I don't know because we don't have an ELO now. All they did was change the amount of money for the buy-in. And ELO is going to be very difficult to implement in this game if it's supposed to be about discovery. Because they know everything, or the database knows everything. It knows exactly how your horse is going to perform upon birth. And so, like, what's an ELO system really going to help out if you just got a shitty horse? Like, I got one of the worst horses on the platform named Things Done Changed. And we've had donkey races in the Discord where people's like, I got a worse donkey than you do. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. And I put it in races with other people's donkeys, and guess who finished last? So yeah, it's like where would that horse fall or horses like that in an ELO system?
Do you think they do ELO by distance instead of doing it instead of as like an overall rating? Do you think they rate you by your distance?
I have no clue. I haven't really thought of how to do an ELO system. I thought like I still don't have a problem with the class system. I just think there needs to be more classes, and with the what they have now, a minimum. That would be my solution.
So you kind of touched on the rejigging of the class system. How do you feel about that update? And for anybody that's watching this in the future, Zed just came out and they rejigged the class system to where class 1 you're only racing, the minimum buy-in is $10 to $500. Class 2 I believe is $5 to $50, and then you go on as you go lower down classes, it's lower dollar buy-ins, and then the highest entry fee is lower. So how do you feel about the current updated class system?
I don't have a problem with it. That was kind of something myself and Dan Chan proposed. What I do have a problem with, though, is they took away the free racing completely. That's because there are people, like not myself, but there are people who free race. And that's all they do. You know, they bought their horse and all they do is free racing. And so the free racing is completely gone. Now, I understand what they had was for people to down class and whatnot. Like they shouldn't have did it that way or whatever. Like honestly, just going back in hindsight, because hindsight's 2020. If they were gonna have free races that were just for the tournament, it should have had no bearing on what you could do in the class. It shouldn't reward or take away class points. It should have just been exactly what for the tournament. And I don't know if they could implement something like that, but that's how I would have implemented the free racing for the tournament.
So you couldn't have. So what you're saying is, if you would have raced a Class 1 free race, even if you lost, you wouldn't be able to down tank, and if you won, you wouldn't be able to gain class points. You would just move in the qualifications of the tournament.
Yes.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
And it's just been tournament only.
And would you have not? One thing that a lot of people were pissed off about is that they dropped free races before the tournament, so people had like a 24-hour window to down class. How'd you feel about that?
Well, I tweeted it out. They promoted downclassing. They completely promoted downclassing for that specific tournament, and they can't even like say otherwise. You can't. It's impossible to say otherwise because you put the free racing out a day before the tournament qualifiers would start. You had to know people were going to downclass. Like I think Princess of Power and LBJ Goat downclass to class 5
in a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they were only in class 3. Arbitrage completely kept it for class 3, and so my proposal would be the free racing, let it stay. But like I said, if you're not going to reward a prize pool, make it more of a practice mode. It's not going to give you points, and it's not going to take away points, and you could just race for fun.
I think that's a great idea. I think not losing class points or not gaining class points, even if you're not racing for money. I did like the free races with the maiden event because it gave us a horse to figure out, or it gave us a chance to figure out where our horses raced efficiently. Mm-hmm. Now it's still free races. Like if you go into a paid race, you might not pull flames if you're consistently pulling them in free races, but at least you know, hey, my horse has a chance of being strong at this distance, and you didn't just lose $100 in that process.
Yes.
I think Heroin had a question. He said the qualifying period was too long, and I 100% agree with that. I think it should just be like a weekly. What do you think?
See, I liked it that long out. I liked it that far out, but that's just me. I did actually, because it was something, it was like a breath of fresh air onto the platform. Like I literally tried to get each and every one of my horses into the tournament, which I think I have about 8 or 9. And I tried all 9 of them over that time period. And I don't know if Heroin, who has like 300 horses, if he tried to get all of his horses in, but Heroin, could you get all your horses to 30 races in a week period, or all the horses that you wanted to try without that time frame? Because there are people who have lots and lots and lots of horses.
I didn't consider that. I didn't think about if you don't make qualifying long enough, if people that have these massive stables might not be able to get a chance to race all of those horses.
Yeah. I haven't tried my worst donkey to get them in, so.
You think 30 races was a good number?
Yes.
I agree. Because I kind of messed up and I raced like too much because the stamina, it was saying I had stamina, like 100% stamina, but I had to go back and clear my cachet when I really had like 85% stamina. So I kind of fucked up 3 races, which you lose in 1 or 2 or 3 races and you're out.
Yeah.
So you got the Breeders' Cup coming up, correct?
Yes. I'm releasing the rule set in about 7 hours.
Do you want to tell the people what the Breeders' Cup is and what your plans are with it?
All right. So the Digital Breeders' Cup is something that we put together as a bunch of content creators. Heroin's in here. He was involved with helping design it. Lucky Jack, myself, MJ Stables, the entire Pony Plug. Sean from Sean vs. All had a couple ideas to add to it. Lacey of Glue Racing had some. It's just a bunch of content creators. And so what the basic idea was, it's you breed your own horse. So you have to own the mare, or you mint your own horse. Basically, it's always going to tell you who minted the horse. If you go on OpenSea, you're going to see who minted the horse. And as long as you mint the horse, then you bred the horse. And so what it is, it's very similar to the maiden, except this time you have had to have minted the horse yourself. You couldn't just go buy a UU horse and then race it. And so it's to test out your breeding theories. And it's going to be a long, this is also going to be about a 2-week tournament, but you can only have raced about 10 times, you can only have raced your horse 10 times. So I would expect people to race nine races and 1 for the Griffey. That way you can, 9 races is as many distances there are. Or you can only, it's not 10 races or less total. Okay. And that way you can see what you got, and you can choose what horse you bred if you breed multiple horses to put in the tournament, because you can see some heat. You can run it against some of your other horses. You know, you can see exactly where you think it falls at within those 10 races.
And so do you want to explain the token system to us a little bit? Because anybody that's coming from the zombie racing system, we had to mint a token. And for some tournaments, you have to have the same bloodline and color for that token. And when you went and minted a token, you didn't get a specific horse. So if you have a Nakamoto, you may have pulled a Buterin token. So how are you guys going to do your minting process on the Breeders' Cup?
Okay, so this goes back. This is the complete and total advice, right? Breed the horses that you want to run, and then go buy the tokens, because you can specifically buy a Nakamoto legendary. You can specifically buy a Buterin legendary, a Zabo legendary. You get to buy the exact token that you're looking for, and then there's one for elite and lower. So you will be able to specifically buy the token that you're looking to mint. And so like my advice would be, if you know you're going to do the Nakamoto legendaries or Nakamoto exclusives or something, only buy Nakamoto exclusive tokens, and however many horses you plan on running from there. Like if you're only going to run Buterin legendaries or Buterin exclusives, you only buy those tokens. And it's a tiered buy-in. Because we all know and understand Nakamoto legendaries probably will be one of the strongest racers in the tournament. And so it's going to cost you a little bit more to buy from a Nakamoto legendary. It starts at 160 and drops all the way down to 160 for a Nakamoto legendary, and then $45 for an elite Buterin, 105 for a Nakamoto elite is the buy-in, and everything in between. Okay. So like a Butte legendary is 85 and a Butte exclusive is 50.
And then I believe we have a question in chat. Would you do that, Breed, if you could? I think they might be talking to each other in chat. So what's the prize pool for the Breeders' Cup?
That's also going to be a tiered buy-in based off of how can I put it? It's going to be a tiered buy-in. Like if there's a bunch of Nakamoto, if there's 50 Nakamoto legendaries, then that prize pool is going to be broken for the Nakamoto legendaries, and it depending on who's running where, that's where the prize pool because it's bracketed like NCAA. Exactly how we were just talking about. The NAC legendaries are going to go into one specific pot, so we get the best NAC legendary. The NAC exclusives are going into one specific spot, so that we get the best Nakamoto exclusive, the best Zabo legendary, and the best Zabo exclusive, and Finny legendary and Finny exclusive. And then what's going to happen is, as the bracket gets smaller, the best NAC legendary is going to face off against the best NAC exclusive. And then the best Zabo exclusive is going to face off against the best Zabo legendary, and vice versa, all the way to the Finny and Buterin. And then the best NAC faces the best Zabo, and the best Finny faces the best Buterin. And then the best of the best match up. And then, boom. That's just for the exclusives. And meanwhile, the elite and the cross, because cross and pacer, the buy-in for cross and pacer is only $35. Or excuse me, $40, whether it's a Nakamoto, a Zabo, a Buterin, or a Finny. And they're going to have their own specific tournament to go in addition with the elites, which it's elite and lower are going to run in their own tournament. And then the winner of that tournament faces off against the winner of the legendary exclusive tournament to be titled grand champion.
Gotcha. So the best of each bloodline will finally make it to the grand final race, where it'll be every bloodline, and then the winner from there is the winner?
The winner faces the best of the cross and the elite cross and pacer tournament, and then that winner is the grand champion.
Okay. And then you said this. When will the Breeders' Cup start?
December 2nd.
December 2nd. All right, guys, mark your calendars. Well, thank you
for
coming. Go ahead.
I was going to say the mint for that is going to start next week.
For the
Breeders' Cup. What happened with my artist he bailed on me last minute. He took a bigger job. I'm not going to say what, but he took a bigger job. So I have to have an artist for the tokens.
Are you still working on that process right now?
Yeah, I'm still looking through artists. I'm waiting to get in contact with Stanley Studios maybe to see if he can help me with a making the tokens. And yes, anyone can mint for the Breeders' Cup, bot lady.
How are you gonna do minting? Are you planning on
I'm minting on a zombie site.
Smart. That's very smart. And so you run Zed News Network every Sunday night. Can you give me the time? 9:30 Central?
9 p.m. Eastern time.
9 p.m. Eastern time. So can you just go into a little bit of what Zed News Network is and your plans for the future?
MJ and myself and Zed Insight. Shout out to MJ in the chat. And shout out to Zed Insight, because I know he'll probably watch that another time. What that is we just cover the news on Zed. We have a bi-weekly news show that's every other Monday where we just go over everything that's taking place in Zed, including like the floor prices on everything. And then the Inside Zed Run is we take people like yourself, stable owners, people like Bot Lady or Heroin, and we interview them and just get their story, like how you asked me my story.
Awesome. So who do you guys have coming on this next week? And you guys also do bi-weekly shows. So when can we catch those?
Well, next Monday would be the next Zed Run bi-weekly news. And next Monday, I think it's 9 o'clock Central Time.
Awesome. And you guys are on Twitch at Zed News Network, and then you are on Twitter at All in All Gaming, correct?
Yes. All right. All in all, you can look it up as GoldenGlowMaster. I did finally change my name on Twitter because I was getting hassled.
Hey, you know, it's pick one of the three. You'll come up with all those. But thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it. You gave me my leg up in the community, so I just wanted to pay it back. So thank you very much, bro.
Thank you, but I didn't give you your leg up. You made videos, and I wanted to interview you after seeing your videos.
Hey, you know, you gave me a little boost, so I appreciate it, bro.
All right.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You as well.